So hello everyone, and I thought today's video I would start with a view of where I am, and today's watch is my Apple Watch with this light orange band and face, and yeah, it's colourful. Anyway, I thought I would show you these pigeons. They caught my attention as I was walking to the canal, and you can see that there's a Sainsbury's here, and this is where I do my shopping sometimes. So this is a nice location, and this is actually the Grand Union Canal in London, in central London. And if you go in that direction, you end up in Paddington, and this direction, I'm not sure. I think you head towards Richmond, actually. I could be wrong. I will need to check that. If it doesn't go to Richmond, it will head north. I'm probably way off there. It probably isn't Richmond. I'm thinking of the Thames. But going in that direction, you definitely end up in Paddington. Anyway, I'll just spin the camera around. So I've tried this before, shooting video outside, and it is fraught with danger. Either the ambient noise is too much, or it's just other people. And what you forget when you're making videos is the conditions, the environment you're in is so important, because the noise and other people, they're essentially a distraction. And if you're talking to camera, it's so difficult, especially if you are wanting to discuss a topic. But I thought this is interesting. It's an interesting place, and I thought, whilst I'm boring you with my opinions and thoughts, that at least you can see something interesting in the background. So what I want to talk about today, I'm actually not going to talk about that. I'm going to once again talk a little bit about censorship and about mandated vaccines. And Austria is back in the news because they are currently planning to mandate vaccines for everyone, and you'll be fined every month if you're not vaccinated. And but the reason I wanted to post this video is because below I'm going to link two other videos. One video is GB News in the UK interviewing Alexander Schugel of Austria, explaining the craziness of mandated vaccines in Austria. And the next video is Dr. John Campbell, who's referencing the latest data in support of unvaccinated people not needing the vaccine. And at this point, I have to say, because of censorship, I mean, everything in this video is my opinion, and I could be wrong, I have to say that. So everything in this video is total nonsense. I wouldn't watch it. So if there is a fact checker fact checking this, if I've crossed the line will be something to do with either, if I say something that is not in support of vaccines, anything at all, if I say anything that doesn't support vaccines, that will qualify it being chopped. Or if I mention certain people's names, certain people of governments in the UK, the US, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and there are a couple of topics also that you're not allowed to talk about. Well, I haven't been told specifically, but other videos I've posted that have been taken down because I'm trying to work out what you can and can't say. You know, the Western governments, they criticise countries like China for censorship, but my goodness, they're, you know, in the UK, in the US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, they're doing a damn good job of censorship. Anyway, I digress. So really the point of this video is I really wanted to support and highlight the two video links that I've put down below. One, Dr. John Campbell, and the other, GB News, interviewing Alexander Schugel. So, right from the beginning, I'm not a medical expert. I haven't got a clue what I'm talking about. Everything that I'm saying is just an opinion, and I could be very wrong. And again, I stipulate that, you know, for the damned fact checkers. But I thought to myself, well, if the virus is a coronavirus, so that means it's similar to the flu or a cold. Well, we've been living with the flu and the cold for forever, and you know, we seem to survive. And in actual fact, the flu is dangerous. If you're elderly and you have underlying health conditions and you catch the flu in the winter, that can be fatal. So, you know, the flu is it's not a good virus to catch when you are unbelievable. There's people behind me, and either I walk faster or I unbelievable. I knew it would happen. It is fraught with danger. I think, okay, I'm gonna walk fast. Okay, so it's because I'm trying to get away from the people behind me, and to take your attention off that, I'll go this way. Okay, so right from the beginning, I thought to myself, well, it sounds like herd immunity is not a bad idea. Yes, the virus might be severe, but I don't know. I'm one of those people that I only like medical interventions when you really need them. Preventative, corrective medicine is fine. Damn. There are three people behind me and I can hear them. I just hope that you know, it's driving me nuts, and I knew it. I knew coming out here was going to be trouble. So I'm going to pause it here, work out what I'm going to do, and then come back. So see you soon. So the people behind me, they're now in front of me, and I'm just going to wait. They're talking loudly. Okay, so where was I? Okay, so initially, there's a virus. Someone like me, I'm thinking I like the idea of relying on my own immune system and herd immunity. So that's really where I was from. I've mentioned this many times. Anyway, instantaneously, vaccines for COVID-19 were in human trial. And I always thought to myself, you know, my goodness, they did that quick. Do you know that the vaccine trials started in March 2020? Now, if you take your mind back, the pandemic, as I remember, hadn't officially started to the second week of March 2020. But in retrospect, I know that COVID-19 vaccine trials were in progress. So that is human trials. It's in the pharmaceutical industry. It's stage 3, it's called. Human trials started the 1st of March 2020. But what that does mean is that vaccines for COVID-19 were made before that, because first of all, they do animal studies. So if you cast your mind back again, hang on. Apparently, the virus was first found in China at the end of 2019, and it arrived in Europe, rest of the world countries, in 2020. But yet we now know that COVID-19 vaccines were actually being trialled around this time, but yet this was a new virus. So I'll just leave that with you, because it is quite amazing. Just think about what I'm implying there. Anyway, so the pandemic started. Everyone started to become an expert in pandemics and viruses, and the claims, what we were reminded, that vaccines take many years to actually develop. Well, first of all, design, develop, and then create. And but during 2020, only months in, we had this indication that vaccines would be ready the same year. So once again, where what normally takes years, is taking months. And yes, the argument was technology has developed, in specifically CRISPR, gene modifying technology has greatly developed, and it's that technology that I understand mRNA vaccines use to be manufactured. So again, this is interesting stuff. COVID-19 vaccines are using this very latest technology, and very quickly they're being approved. Like clicking your fingers, they were approved. Anyway, so the reason that I'm babbling on here is I'm just presenting the backdrop to the points I'm going to make, and also the backdrop to the points that are in the two links below. Again, Dr. John Campbell and GB News with Alexander Schugel. And so we're all very familiar now with this virus and pandemic, and people like me have had COVID, and so now someone like me has natural antibodies, and the NHS have proved that, and I've done tests, and so I have the natural antibodies. Also, I feel fine. I keep myself healthy. In fact, where we are now, I run often. And anyway, so I'm just a happy chappy, and I don't really understand why anyone would be forced to take a vaccine if they're young and healthy. And that's what's happening in Austria. And this is the most crazy, unbelievable thing, because as I understand it, all the information that's available to me, that I've watched and seen and people have explained to me, I can't see where on earth Austria as a country can arrive at a policy like, we're going to force vaccinate you. I cannot see how they can justify that. Why on earth would you want to force a medical treatment on an individual when, as I see it, there's no science or data to support that? So, and right there, apparently that's the bit that the censorship people, they don't like, because it sounds like you're discouraging vaccinations. And so I'm just going to say again, I'm not discouraging vaccinations, I'm offering you an opinion. I am not an anti-vaxxer, and I've said this a number of times. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I understand that vaccines can work, do work, sorry, they do work. Okay, I'm heading towards noisy people again. Unbelievable. So I'm going to pause and come back. Okay, so we're back, and so I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I have explained that before. I know they can work, I know they do work. There are good reasons to have vaccines. Totally get it. But choice, where on earth is choice in all this? And as I understand it, generally, especially in Europe, healthcare is delivered via concordance, which means that everything is considered, and the most plausible and best health decisions are made. Now, where on this earth does forced vaccinations in Austria fit in that? I mean, it is just unbelievable. And look at the location, Austria. You know, like that country and that neck of the woods needs any, force mandate against its population. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Anyway, in the link below, Alexander Schugel details. He explains it wonderfully, what the problem is, and what the Austria people think. It is unbelievable, and I don't even have to point out what's going on here. Just watch that link below, and perhaps before you watch that link, watch the Dr. John Campbell as he goes through the data that illustrates the need or not the need for vaccines. So I mean, this is data, and it's presented by very credible people, and that's in the links below. So the purpose again of this video is please go to the links below and watch those links. It is self-explanatory what the links are, what the people are saying, and I believe it to be a more accurate take on what's going on, which only leads me to the conclusion that this forced vaccine mandate situation is a policy that's come from somewhere, and a policy that doesn't seem to make sense, other than somebody wants everyone to receive vaccines. And very quickly you could see a profit motive for the pharmaceutical companies. But if that's what it is, it would just be so sad and unbelievable that the healthcare industry has such power that it can crowbar in unnecessary draconian measures in the way it has done. So I can't believe that, because it's so unbelievable. And so the other explanation is it's part of a bigger policy that we have no sight of, or I have to say it's because it's correct. Force vaccinating everyone, is the thing to do. Now, I cannot believe that. I just can't believe that is an outcome that is right and just. Now, once again, I'm going to try and end this video here. I don't want to go on, and I don't want these videos to be boring, and I'm trying to make them interesting, and I'm also trying to, the reason that I'm making this video today is because I think this is really important, and I think what's happened in the last 2 years, I think what's happened has been terrible, and I think we've seen the worst side of governments that was unimaginable 2 years ago. I think now everyone is resigned to the fact that governments, even Western governments, are draconian, and we are heading for a totalitarian environment. I mean, that's the only conclusion that you can arrive at with what's gone on. It's been ridiculous. But where I want to end off, like with all my videos, I like to end off with a positive note, with something that's that seeks a positive outcome. But just before I head there, I once again talk about the origin of COVID-19, because again, why isn't this at the forefront of everyone's minds and questions? Why doesn't everybody want to know where COVID-19 came from? The origin would justify everything that's happened, but they cannot, and they will not, and they have not offered an origin for COVID-19. Right now, officially, the official response to the origin of COVID-19 is they don't know where it came from. Now, you would think with today's technology, we have men on the moon, the iPhone, we have CRISPR technology, we have mRNA vaccines, okay? But they don't know where COVID came from. They just don't know where it came from. It just appeared, and so did the vaccine. So there you go. And for that, you know, they might cut me down, but anyway. So the positive note is, you know, this damn thing seems to be over. So this is February 2022. Cases are dropping. I mean, it really does appear to be over. Even all the stupid draconian government measures seem to have been rescinded now. There isn't any chit-chat about a new variant that they will just find. So, you know, maybe this damned thing is over. And remember also, in history, no pandemic has ever lasted more than 2 years. And we're at the 2-year mark right now. So just, you know, like textbook, you know, we should be clear of this COVID-19. It should be over. So, you know, and I'm going to borrow their straplines again. So this is my positive, this is my take for this video. This thing, whatever it has been, is now over, and you know, we can, you know, how you do it is up to you, but I'm going to borrow their own straplines, the Great Reset and Build Back Better, but not the versions that I think, not the wealth transferring draconian hidden agenda, you know, content that I think some people have within Great Reset and Build Back Better. But I think we should have a great reset of thought and retake on how governments govern us. And the Build Back Better part is, well, we live in a democracy apparently, but we have to look at how we're governed, where authority really is, and how decisions are made once again. I really think we have to have that. And I mean, these are just my thoughts again, and you know, once again, you know, little old me, you know, no one watches this, no one listens to me, so why on this earth would anyone care what I'm saying on YouTube? Why? You know, why would they care? Anyway, I shall leave that up to you, and I really hope that I haven't driven people crazy today, and you know, I'm trying to make these videos interesting, and I will get I will talk about some business topics very soon that, you know, I want to get away from COVID, but today I just had to again mention this because it's so ridiculous. There's a train, there you go. Noise. Anyway, I'm going to say bye. Everyone, have a really nice day, and I will see you all again very soon. So I thought I'd just show you this guy again. I've actually shot this before, and you know, it's a cell tower. You know, this is cool technology. You know, it really is stuff that we you know, that enrich our lives. But look at that! Imagine that. Imagine working next to that. I mean, we know that this is a device that emits a lot of electromagnetic energy, and are we sure that these things are safe? I mean, I know that I wouldn't want to work here in such close proximity to this thing. I really wouldn't, but you know, I do like what it does, and I benefit greatly from these things. But anyway, I thought I'd just pop this in at the end. So I just thought I'd add on the end where I am. I'm the video I've just done actually is normally a route that I run. So what you're looking at is where I, you know, go running, and I thought I'd just show you it. It's you know, it's quite nice. This is called Wormwood Scrubs Park actually. The open green there. In the summer I run through there. It's very nice, and yeah, this is there's a main road there, but they've obviously put this public footpath here, and you know, it's very nice. I suppose, you know, this is what we pay you know, council tax for, and you know, other taxation. someone has to build this, someone has to put this here. The local council do that. So everything you see around here has been put there by someone for everyone's use and enjoyment. And these things we do forget about. You walk out of your front door, and everything in front of you has been put there either for your use or it's somebody else's property. But if it isn't somebody else's property, that stuff has been put there by someone, and someone's paid for it. Someone has turned up to do a day's work, and and they've built the pavement or the public building or the road or the hedgeway or the landscaping. Somebody has actually, it's their job to have done this, and believe it or not, you actually pay for it with your taxes, and we do forget this. It's such a simple thing, and there is so much in this world that we take for granted. And the next time you walk out of your front door, and you leave your front door or your driveway, and you're walking to the bus stop or you're in your car, the minute you touch the land or property that's not yours, somebody else put that there for you. Amazing, isn't it? It's one of those interesting thoughts that somebody like me has often. I like to look at everything, in a very wide view. I like to understand the world that I live in, that we all live in, and I suppose I'm trying to make this stuff interesting and actually talk about it. Anyway, I know this is a little bit boring, and anyway, I'm sort of walking home after my little break, and I was walking down here, so I thought I would just film it, and I hope it's a little bit interesting. Anyway, hope everyone's well, and again, I will see you all again.